for approximately 10 minutes. It's going to be kind of dark here at Tiger Stadium, but the fans are in place, and for the most part, we're looking forward to a great football game here momentarily. So we'll see you when the lights come on.
Good evening, everybody. Tonight on NCTV5, it's week number 11. That means it's the playoffs here in Liberty Center. The Tigers finishing number 2 in region number 22, thus winning a home field game, Jimmy. And tonight, Liberty Center tangles with a very physical team, a very athletic team, the Sandusky St. Mary Panthers. The quarterback's the big key, Jimmy. Tigers have had some injuries, but they've got healed up pretty well. Tigers in pretty good physical shape. I think we're in for one heck of a matchup.
Oh, yeah, Spike, this is going to be a whale of a football game here. Spread offense is the name of the game for the Panthers, and Archibald tried that a little bit with us and kind of give the Tigers a little confusion there for a while. So I'm sure they've been working on that, but you know, these Sandusky St. Mary Panthers, their record is 6-4, so people might think, well, you know, they've had 4 losses. But keep in mind, 3 of those losses were from playoff-bound teams. So they play in a pretty rough and tumble area there, and they've been to the playoffs 10 times previous, and the old Tigers have been there 11.
Yep.
So we're talking, you know, teams that are seasoned in this second season.
Absolutely. Now, to shed a little light on these leagues, Sandusky St. Mary's from the Erie County, their league, when you add up the divisions, with, of course, the lower the number, the bigger the schools, their total comes up to 44. They've got 2 Division 3s, 4 Division 4s, a couple of Division 6s in there. And when you add Liberty's up, it's 46. That's only 2 difference in kind of like a power rating.
Yeah.
So a lot of that maybe too much is made of. Now, the one thing I think we can expect tonight, obviously, that the focus is going to be on the
spread offense.
Yeah, the spread offense featuring the quarterback. But Sandusky St. Mary's known for their outstanding wrestling program, so I think we're going to see a lot of good athletes here from the Panthers. Usually the Tigers are the smaller team on the field. Tonight, pretty close. And it'll be a good, tough matchup. Liberty will have to play against, instead of the big wide bodies, some people that are about as quick as they are.
Yeah, Spike, their wide receiver, has got right at 50 receptions, and any way you cut it, that's about 5 a game.
All right, Bobby Black's low kick, bounding around, picked up there at the 15-yard line. Return to this side. Hit and made, shakes that one, and finally shoved out of bounds up around the 40-yard line, I believe. Ryan McClure on the tackle.
Yeah, Paul Smith.
Or was it, Perchlick?
Yeah,
Perchlick,
well, I don't
78.
know who finally stopped him, but a couple Tigers had a piece of him there, and boy, that's not what you like to see. You like to see him get wrapped up right on the first contact, Spike.
Well, they made a good cut to the outside, so good field position for St. Mary's. We'll have to check the film for that tackler. It was either 18 or 78. My bad. All right. The men in black on defense. They start out in a 4-3-4. Sandusky comes out with an empty backfield. Now runs the quarterback draw. Hit right away and dropped. No gain on the play.
Jordan Espinoza.
Yeah, that's the man, number 59. The man in the middle, Jordan Espinoza.
Yes, sir. One senior that stepped right up and made it happen in a big way for the Tigers, especially this last half of the season, Spike.
All right, that defense, they've got at the tackles, Derek Miller, number 63, Jordan Espinoza, 59. Defensive ends, Jason Moeller, 82, Kyle Hesterman, 64. There's the give off the right side. Not much running room there. Tigers swarm all over that one. Only a gain of a yard. That's one of those good old-fashioned smackarenos.
Yep, Tyler Carpenter, I'm going to give him credit on that. Number 2, his buddy Brett Babcock was up there also, but Tyler Carpenter, I believe he's the leading tackler on a team, Spike, up there around the 70 count.
Yep.
And that's a lot of tackles.
Well, and it's a team tackle job, too.
Yeah.
They've got about 10 guys all together in that same close group.
Yep.
So we've got a 3rd down and 8, ball at the 42, their own 42-yard line of the Panthers. 3 wideouts to this side of the field. Quarterback rolling this way. Here's pressure from Carpenter, slowed down and grabbed by Hesterman, and finished off right there. No gain on the play. The Tiger defense comes a rocking and a rolling. That's going to bring up 4th down.
Yes, sir. That's a 3 and out and a good defensive stand. They gave up good field position on that opening kickoff, but Tiger defense had an answer for everything St. Mary's put up, Spike.
All right, you want to talk about tenacity. Kyle Hesterman fought through a block, laying on the ground, reached up and hauled him in and slowed him down. All right, back to receive, Babcock and Smith. Smith comes over, takes it at the 20-yard line, and steps out of bounds at the 22.
Yeah, that was a good punt by Sandusky there, Spike, and not much Paul could do. He fielded it cleanly, but just didn't have any working room.
All right, now the Tigers will come out on offense. Ryan McClure, number 18 out there. He may be one of the wing backs.
Boy, what a great story. And we've told it a couple times, Spike, you have. But, man, to a guy to hang with the program the whole year so that he can be in position to really get in there when it counts tonight.
All right, Slee behind the quarterback. Babcock, the running back. Here's the pitch to Slee. Slee cuts it up inside. Gets ahead to the 26-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 4.
Yeah, Tyler Carpenter, very nice block there. I mean, that guy swung around there and created just a little seam. And Tate Slee right there banging on the 1,000-yard marker himself as a running back. Gets a good solid 4-yard, Spike.
Yep, we'll call it 4.5 yards on the play. Ball set between the 26 and the 27. 2nd down and a long 5 to go. Tigers line up with the wing back left set with McClure. Babcock on the right, Slee behind center. Here's the give to Babcock, left side, looking for running room. Rambles ahead up to about the 29. We'll call it a gain of 3 on the play.
Well, that's good, solid rushing right out of the blocks there, and this being key right here. They've got 3 yards, a good strong 3 yards to go to move that stick, Spike. But
all right.
Good line play by the Tigers thus far.
All right, quickly, Bobby Black, number 73 at center. Derek Miller, the guard on the left. Tyler Carpenter, number 50, the guard on the right. Espinoza, number 59, tackle left. Hesterman, 64, tackle right. We've got Moeller, tight end left. Bodenbender, tight end right. Man in motion, McClure. Gives straight ahead. Running room for Babcock. He dives, and he's got the 1st down up around the 34-yard line. Tigers took it right up the gut. 1st down of the game goes to the Tigers.
Yeah, they did. That was a good hole there for him. Again, Tyler Carpenter made a nice play in there from his guard position as well as that left side. A good 1st down via the rush, just the way Rex would like to see it, Spike.
Oh, yeah.
If you keep the ball and it's a time-consuming drive, they can't do anything while you got it.
That's right. All right, standard wing left set. Now play action. Babcock looks, throws deep. He's got Bodenbender out there, but it's going to go out of bounds, incomplete.
Yeah, that ball floated on Babcock there. He executed the fakes just about right and everything, you know, and had his man about where he wanted, but running out of field.
Yep. Well, first pass of the game, that's understandable, but I like the call. 1st down play action. I think that is a great time to use that call. Now 2nd down and 10.
Say, Bodenbender looks pretty tall out here compared to the guys defending him.
Yeah, they might take advantage of that before it's over.
Wondering about that.
All right, double wing set. Slee the lone setback. Now Babcock in motion. Takes the handoff. Power sweep right. Great block by Miller. Babcock stays on his feet, breaks a tackle, and powers his way up to about the 42. A gain of 7 on the play.
Yeah, Sandusky St. Mary's over there. The boys from Cedar Point tried to hem him in there, number 2 against number 2, but Babcock got another 2-3 yards after contact.
Yep. Well, they ran to that Tiger left side with Moeller, Espinoza, and Miller, and it was Miller pulling out, helping to open that outside gap. Babcock cut it up inside. We're going to give him the gain of 6 yards. Ball at the Tigers 41. Second down and 4. 7:46 remaining, first quarter clock.
Third down.
Third down. All right, give to Slee. We've got a flag. Ouch. Slee looks like he's got enough for a first down, but that might be a Tiger hold.
Could be. The spot does indicate that he did make it, but the officials got to sort it out for us. Oh, a block below the waist or below the knees there. Isn't that to signal that when they're waving at their knees there,
I believe.
Spike?
You know, I think that's one of the few times, if not the first time, we've seen that call this year.
Yeah,
and,
how is that? I thought right there close to the line of scrimmage you could use that kind of blocking, but they're trying to protect against needless injuries.
All right, well, now the Tigers...
third down and a mile.
Yeah, third down, and we're going to call it about 16 yards to go.
Huh.
So, in essence, a huge penalty. Tigers now, it'll be third down from their own 28-yard line. Third and 28. Babcock back to throw. Throws that little inside swing pass.
Yeah, that was to Paul Smith, but it was a little high. He jumped for it and still couldn't flag her down, Spike, but he was going to be covered. I mean, the cover guy was right there, and they were also coming up from the safety area from St. Mary's, so I don't know whether Paul could have shook them all, but not quite on target there.
Yep. Well, fourth down, 16 to go at the 28-yard line, so back to punt will be Bobby Black.
Just a faint breeze at his back.
Yep, a beautiful night for football, Jim.
Spike, for the fans, they got to love it.
All right, 2 men back deep. Uh-oh. Took a Tiger bounce there at the 50, and that's going to roll out of bounds around the 45-yard line.
Yeah.
So, again, good field position for the Sandusky St. Mary's Panthers.
Yeah, Spike, we've watched and covered Bob Black's talented foot, both on conversions there, extra points and also punting. And I believe that's about the first one I've seen him shank. Because he's got punt for average. He's right in the thick of things for having distance.
Yeah,
I know
actually,
he's got plenty of hang time, generally.
According to the paper, if the stats are right, he's leading the area in punting now. All right, but the Tigers back on defense. First and 10 from the 44-yard line. Now a little cross buck, little misdirection stuff, and the gain of 7 yards, we'll call it, for Sandusky. They're into Tiger territory at the 48-yard line.
Spike, that was kind of interesting. I'd call that a full house backfield there, and he took the snap deep there, and he faked to the left, and had a back stand right there and pulled it out and gave it to the other back, and not quite a draw, but they were pretty deep there.
Yeah. Yeah, they run a lot of different crazy stuff out of that spread formation. Now they go back to their standard offensive set with one protector back in the backfield. Now they give to that guy, hit right away by Carpenter in the backfield. Smaggerino!
Oh, Tyler Carpenter put a helmet on him right.
Holy mackerel!
He was lucky to hang on that ball, and also Jason Moeller right there to get in on the action.
That's the same kid I've told for 3 years he was too small to play high school football. You just saw the effect of what he's able to do now.
Yeah, I don't think you want to make him mad.
No.
Tyler Carpenter comes to play.
All right, third down and 4, ball at midfield. They throw the quick slant out there, caught, tackled right away, but enough for a Panther first down at the Tiger 43.
Yeah, Tyler Carpenter out there to cover. But, they knew where they had to be, and a good pass by the Panther quarterback.
All right, 5:55 here, first period, no score. Panthers, second possession of the game. They were 3 and out the first time. Now they've picked up a first down. Ball at the Tiger 43. Tigers show blitz. Now they fake the handoff. Give ahead, gain of 3 on the play. Tigers react well to that. Boy, they were in the backfield again, Jimmy boy.
Spike almost had that stopped for a big loss, but we got to let him have 3 yards on that because he did, in fact, earn them. But I tell you, when the Tigers do get there, they're making some punishing hits there, Spike.
TJ Blanton.
40-yard line for the
number
Panthers.
Number 4, the quarterback. Takes the snap out of shotgun, fakes there. They're going to throw the home run ball up. Bodenbender in protection. And a great defensive play! Casey Bodenbender!
Well, you talk about an athletic job of covering that pass right there. I mean, the receiver had just about a step on him, but he timed his defense, and he was able to swat that ball away, Spike, like we've seen Kyle Bodenbender.
Oh, baby. I couldn't have said her any better, Jimmy. All right. That brings up 3rd down and 8. Ball at the 40-yard line. Tigers are trying to disguise their defenses. Now Carpenter backs off. Quick drop. Now the look. Slant over the middle. And caught. Now fumbled. Boy, I don't know.
Oh, they're calling it down. Whoa. He did catch the pass, but he lost it.
Boy, I don't know. You know, that's a tough call.
That's
because
difficult.
either he catches it and it's a fumble or else it's incomplete. The officials ruled that in that quick infinitesimal amount of time, he hit the ground before the fumble.
Or that he had possession long enough.
Yeah.
However you want to say it, Spike, but from a vantage point at Tiger fans and up here, it either had to be incomplete or a fumble.
Well, Paul Smith on one of those head-jarring headhunter tackles of his brings down the receiver, but that's enough for a first down. We've got a timeout down on the field while some professionals.
Sponsors.
Ah, yes. Yeah. Thanks to Landis, we've got time to get some sponsors in. I want to welcome a new sponsor to Liberty Center TV5 football and basketball broadcast. It's Megan Irving of Wells Bowen Realtors in Napoleon at 1006 Dodge Street. Megan, her main job is assisting buyers and sellers, and off to a good start, I understand. So Megan, a Liberty Center graduate, band captain a few years back. So welcome aboard, Megan. I hope this pays off for you many times over. All right. Also, special mention for Jerry and Karen Miller, as they wish good luck to their son Derek and the entire Tiger football team this year. Also, Patty and Randy Hill for their son, Andrew, for Hill Asphalt Paving. Dave's Auto Service in Liberty Center with Dave Perry. The Tiger Shop with Bob and Julie Shaddy. Holgate Metal Fab with Jeff and Todd Spangler. KK Collision with Kyle Kern. Also another special mention tonight, thanks to Jerry Ripke out at Truckers Paradise, Lynn and Jerry Ripke. Of course, Jerry, well known for her 57 kinds of wonderful homemade pies. She has supplied a pineapple pie and a cherry pie tonight for the press box crew. All right, back to that later. Now, 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the Tigers' 28-yard line. Out of shotgun. Double receivers to either side, lone setback. They're going to run a little option play. Quarterback keeps it. And finally brought down short of the 25-yard line. We'll call it a gain of about 2.5.
Yeah, he wanted to run right from the get-go on that. Again, I didn't see the penetration there on the defensive line of the Tiger there, but boy, almost got an arm on him back there in the backfield. But this is a good athlete, their quarterback, Spike. They love him for completing almost 1,500 yards worth of passes, but almost running for 1,000 yards himself. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's their focal point for sure. Now they do run that little option pitch this time, slips and falls. And it's going to be a short gain, maybe a yard at the most, up to down to about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I remember reading that about this quarterback. They just evidently he can make it happen in many ways for him.
All right, Tigers are going to show multiple fronts all night long. They started out in the 4-3-4, but they're going to try to disguise blitzes, stunts. They may come up with a 5-man line. They may drop off 5 defensive backs. So we're going to see any number of Tigers out there. Derek Hefflinger, number 3 on the field right now for Liberty. All right, little fake, little play action, passes high, incomplete. And Babcock, a little extra greeting there to the intended receiver.
Yeah.
They laid a lick on one of our boys a little earlier, Jimmy, and I guess that's only payback.
Oh, real good pressure there by Tyler Carpenter. Drilled the quarterback. Might have hurried that throw just a little bit. Also, Hesterman was just within a step of him, too.
All right, now they're going to set up for the possible field goal attempt. 3:15 to go, first period, ball at the 25-yard line. That'll make it a 37-yarder. Here's the kick, floating, and up, gone!
Wow.
A 42-yard field goal for the Sandusky St. Mary's Panthers.
Spike, there was nothing pretty about that kick, but boy, with great confidence, he socked his leg into that, and it kind of wobbled down there, and had he had much more height on it, he might not have had the distance, but he did, in fact, convert.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jim, I'll give him 4 field goals tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to take more than just 3 points to decide this.
All right, some more of our sponsors here. We've got the Henry County Bank with Bill Wendt. Swanton Welding with Ryan Norm and Norm Zeider. The Dugout with Stephen Captain Parasini. The Sky Bank in Liberty Center. Pizzanello's Pizza, home of the slice of pizza to go for $1 during their buffet times. Every day from 11 to 2 in the afternoon, 5 to 8 in the evening, 6 days a week. Also, Rick Spees, Old Tiger Football Salt with Spees Trailer Court. B.A. Miller & Sons Trucking with Norma Miller. L.R. Babcock Plumbing and Heating with Bill Tiplady. Dan and Francis Brown, one of our very special sponsors. Also another special sponsor, Davis Farm Services in Delta and Liberty. With Grandma Karen, Uncle Kurt and Kelly, and Kelly and Todd Bodenbender, parents for Casey Bodenbender. All right, now kickoff taken down there by Babcock at the 12-yard line. Return up the middle, looking for a gap, finds it, kicks it to the outside the middle. Now makes another cut it up across the 42-yard line, and Liberty Center now has got some real field position.
Yes, indeed, Spike. There's a couple blocks in there. I didn't get the number, but he kind of picked his way through there, and just a dandy return.
Yep, 30 yards on that kickoff return, so the Tigers back in business.
So far, Spike, 2 big plays, and both of them have been against the Tigers. One of them was a penalty when the Tigers had a drive going. It essentially killed that drive. Another big play was that pass, arguably almost a fumble or an incomplete pass, set it up for Sandusky St. Mary's.
All right, and the best thing is Tigers only trail by 3. Here's Smith in motion. They fake the pitch. They give it to Slee, rambling and fighting, driving ahead up to the 48-yard line, a gain of 5.
Oh, it's at least 5. We'll give him 6 on that maybe.
Now they're playing the left-footed spot with us.
Yeah.
That's a long 5,
Okay.
Jimmy. We'll give us that.
All right. Hey, how about that yard marker team? Are they up for tonight's action here? You know, they had a little time off.
They are now officially known as paid professionals, Jim.
All right.
I think more like assassins or paid hooligans. But, all right, now the Tigers power ahead with Babcock. Babcock up across the 50-yard line. They're going to spot the ball somewhere around the 49, and a gain of 3 on the play. It'll bring up short yardage on 3rd down.
No, they got him over the 50 there, Spike.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they drove him back, but his penetration was clearly over the 50, and they did give it to us. You know, when you get into the playoffs, this is a cut above the regular officiating crew that does high school games. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
They screen this very carefully.
Yeah. So you got to like that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
all right, wing back left, or set to the left. Slee behind the quarterback. Babcock to this side. Smith in motion. Here's the give. Slee battling, driving, and I believe he's got enough for the first down depending on the spot.
Yeah, the guy from our sideline walking out there is a spot guy, and he's marking her up there good enough.
Well, I don't know.
Whoa.
Oh, boy. Tiger fans neither like that spot. I hate that. Everybody's moving toward the center of the field, and not one guy is solid set.
Yeah. Well, the guy walking in from our side, I don't know, would you call him the umpire, referee, or what's his title?
Well,
that is responsible for the spot?
The guy with the white cap, he's the big boss, boss daddy, if you will.
Yeah, but he's got to have a title.
Well, I ain't sharp enough to know the difference between an umpire and a referee. Yeah, we got another left-footed spot. Now the Tigers are going to be sitting on fourth and about 2 inches.
They're going to go for
Ball
it, Spike.
at the 48-yard line of Sandusky.
Got to be able to make 6 inches when you need it.
Well, it's time for the Tiger seniors to rise to the occasion. This is what playoff football is all about. Liberty Center not going to back off. They're going to take it right to Sandusky here. 4th down and inches. Ball at the Sandusky 48. Slee behind the quarterback. Babcock offset to the right with Smith, the wingback, right side. On the cadence count, Babcock power straight ahead, dives forward, and made a fullback in a quarterback clothing, dives ahead for the first down.
Yeah, was he running right over Tyler Carpenter? Just on the right
between
there.
Bobby Black and Tyler Carpenter, and a gain of about nearly 2 yards, and the Tigers back in business, 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Well,
1:01 to go here, first quarter.
That was a good gut check by this Tiger playoff team. I mean, you got to be able to make a foot when you need it, Spike.
Yep, they didn't fool around
No.
with anything fancy in the backfield. All right, wingback set to the left. Here's the pitch to Slee, trying to get outside, met right there in the backfield, and there'll be no gain on the play.
Yeah, they had that one sniffed. Almost looked like they had him around the helmet there, but plenty of officials and no call in that regard. But that one gets wiped off as a no gain, Spike.
All right, we'll call it a loss of about a half a yard on the play. 2nd down and 11. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. 17 seconds, clock running. 3-0, Sandusky. St. Mary's. All right, Moeller wide out to this side, now takes a step back. That makes him eligible. It makes Bodenbender eligible. And Slee powers his way down to about the 41. And the Tigers pick that right back up. They're back in business now with a 3rd down and 5 when we come back after the quarter change.
Yeah, once again, good pulling guard work there by Tyler Carpenter. And Slee had to kind of bump into him there a little bit. I know that happens a lot. You know, you got a pulling guard out there, and he's got business of his own trying to put in a good block, and then here comes the ball carrier. But it was a good game.
Yeah, as you said, it was a good surge off that Tiger right side of the offensive line with Carpenter, Hesterman, Bodenbender, and Moeller. All right, some more of our sponsors now. We've got the Liberty Center Consulting Group with Mark and Jody Bly, Schaefer Truck and RV Sales and Rentals with Terry and Todd Schaefer, Miller Brother Trucking in Napoleon with Skip Miller, Eon Industries with Judy Leininger and Dawn Bender in Liberty Center, Mitchell Farm Equipment with Tom, Pat, Barb, and Mike Mitchell, the Meyer Badenhop Insurance Agency with Glenn Badenhop in the Napoleon office, and Bob and Marge Jurassics in Liberty Center. Another very special sponsor, Ken and Robin Carpenter. Also the Liberty Center carryout with John McClure, Timbo and Water Hauling Service, the Liberty Center Athletic Booster Club, of course, and never to forget John Slagle and the memory of good old Donnie Sharp and them stinking rotten yellow flags, that one that cost Liberty dearly in that first quarter. Well, Jim, just about set to go here. We're going to call it 3rd down and a long 5 to go. Ball at the just outside the 46-yard line of Sandusky St. Mary's. Now man in motion, Smith this way. They give straight ahead on a dive. Good for maybe a yard. It'll be 4th down. And now the Tigers with a tough decision. 4th and 4. 4th and 4 at the 40-yard line. Do you play field position, Jim, or do you take a gamble on 4th down?
Well, I don't know, but looks like maybe the special teams are going to decide that for them. I mean, the decision's been made, Spike. Hey, that's a pretty hefty chunk of yardage to make there.
Yep. All right, Jordan Perdue, number 9, one of the gunners out here on this side. John Greitman, number 34, another great special teams player also in there. Black, back to punt. That's a black beauty right there. High, turn turning over kick. Bounces around the 6 and grabbed there by Tate Slee in midair.
Yeah.
So the Tigers have him pinned deep on a great punt by Bobby Black.
Of course, now that punt was downed inside the 20, in fact, down there on the 10-yard line, or no, not 10, about the 8-yard line, you know that was a thing to do.
Uh-oh.
They're
no.
going to make us punt it again, Spike.
It must have been I wasn't sure of the call, maybe procedure.
Yeah, it was procedure call.
All right, that'll back the Tigers up 5 yards.
Yeah.
Just about a minute gone here in the first half, or the second quarter of the first half.
Yeah.
3-0 lead for St. Mary's.
Well, Bob Black doesn't have to hold back now, Spike.
That's true.
He had to pull a little off there, and he can go ahead and let it out.
Yep, 32-yard punt now. The Panthers hoping to be able to get register some kind of a return here. Black will be punting line of scrimmage the 45. Babcock barking out the signals from his quarter. Now Black is going to fake it. Now looks, now punts it. He draws up one of the receivers. And that is going to end up helping Liberty Center as it takes a Tiger roll down to the 10-yard line.
All right.
Why, one of the return men, Jim, came up, and that's right where the punt went.
That's exactly the case, and St. Mary's gained 2 yards by making the Tigers punt it again.
Yep. Well, Jordan Purdue, wisely, number 9, backup quarterback for the Tigers. Good little football player, wisely enough, stayed off of the ball.
Yep.
So the Tigers now have Sandusky pinned deep back at the 10 where it'll be first down. 10:56 to go, first half.
We know the Tigers have a fake off that punt. They can either short snap it and pass it, or they can Statue of Liberty it as they did against Archibald here a week ago.
Yep, Bobby with a little hesitation maybe made them think a little. All right, now out of shotgun. Here's the fake. They're going to throw deep. Uh-oh, incomplete over the head of the intended receiver. That's number 5, Joe McCormick, a 5'7" junior.
Olds is their big receiver there.
Adam Olds, number 21.
Right, that's the go-to guy who's caught 50 passes for the Panthers this season.
All right, that changes the options now of the Panthers. They've got 2nd and 10 out of shotgun. Now they fake the give. The quarterback, oh my, he's got a lot of running room down the sidelines, and I don't think the Tigers are going to catch him. A 90-yard quarterback draw, and the Sandusky St. Mary's Panthers go up by a score of 9-0. 10:37 to go here, second period.
Well, that was a well-conceived play. He faked one way, like a handoff, and then number 72 pulled and was just burrowing right through there, and he hit one Tiger that had a real clean shot at him, and after that, quarterback from St. Mary's had a lot of green field and made the most of it.
Well, that they're able to run with their offense a lot of the same plays that a backfield of 3 people do, but they do it with 2. So the misdirection play, good for 90 yards, and now the point after touchdown kick attempt. Low snap, handled cleanly, kick up, hits the upright, and falls away, no good.
Yep, makes it a 9-point game.
That changes things by quite a bit. Now, the Tigers have been down before. Not that that's a big deal. It's time now to just put the harness on, pick yourself up by the bootstraps, and generate some offense.
Yeah, they've had a couple of drives that have stalled out, generally speaking, because of a penalty at the wrong time, Spike.
Well,
so they got to play it clean and do what they do.
Yep, just overcome it. All right, the Panthers will they faked that little onside stuff. Liberty Center was ready and up at the 50-yard line waiting for it. Now everybody spreads out. They'll kick the ball off from the right hash mark, the near hash mark here. Back deep is Smith and Babcock, 2 blistering return men. Ball bounces. Babcock finally picks it up at the 9-yard line. Looks for running room. Boy, Jimmy, if he could have maybe got through that one, but the guy had the angle on him.
Yep, good sure tackle over there. Their cover guys pinned the Tigers deep. Got them stopped before they quite got up to the 20-yard line. So Tigers need to put a drive together here, Spike.
All right, they'll start 19-yard line, 1st and 10. Well, the Tigers, you know, down through the years have been a big play team. We've seen a big play. Now maybe we'll come up. Remember last year playing Delta, Commit came up with a big run, second play from scrimmage. Tigers answered the bell, though, directly. Here's the give to Slee, firing it off to the right side, runs over the top. No, it's Babcock on the keeper all the way up to the 45-yard line, and we're going to have a late hit.
Yep.
Boy, I was fooled there.
Yep.
I thought Slee took the handoff.
Yeah, no, he faked it to Slee, and of course he's had multiple carries tonight, so they kind of sold out and started pounding on Tate Slee, but the quarterback had it, and he was running up the sideline, and true enough, he was out of bounds a long time before that last hit come on there, so I think the Tigers are going to get a few more yards tacked on to the end there, Spike.
Yep. Well, you know, the beauty of that play, besides the fact Babcock picking up a huge chunk of real estate, was Slee took the handoff, didn't back down a bit. He simply ran right over one guy at about 10 yards upfield.
Oh, he's a consummate
fullback.
Boy. I mean, he'll either run over him or through him or just hit him in general, and that's what you like. And for all the carries that he's had tonight, you know, they had to tackle him. They thought he had the ball, but just a good play there.
All right, about a 30-yard gain, we'll call it for Babcock, and the penalty, I think a 5-yarder, puts the ball in Panther territory. Give to Slee, right side. There he is, running over that same pot licker he did before.
Yeah, that was their quarterback, number 4.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, not the quarterback. Don't hurt him.
I think with great relish, Tate Slee piled into him.
All right, a gain of 8. 2nd down and 2. And we've got another injury timeout. Wow, he may have took one in the knee. One of the defensive linemen that appeared to be number...
I couldn't see his number there, Spike.
Yeah.
62.
62,
Yep.
Nick Sherwer, senior defensive lineman. Well, Tigers now back in business. Jim, now's where, though, they've got to cash in.
Yeah. Well, they just have to not make any mistakes here. I mean, they've been reeling off yards in big chunks. They started this drive on about their 18-yard line, and, boy, here they are inside the 40. So they're smelling blood.
All right. We'll be back after the timeout for the injury to one of the linemen from the Panthers. This was his specialty, 2nd down and short yardage. It's 2nd and 2 at the 38 of the Panthers. Tigers have it. Double wing set, Slee lone set back. Babcock in motion. Here's play action. Babcock has time. Lost it up there long and deep for Bodenbender. And incomplete. Good coverage down there around the 10-yard line. So the Tigers now be looking at 3rd down and 2 in what I would consider 4-down territory.
Oh, I think so. Yep, that pass was out there, and, you know, Casey made a good effort at it, but he was well covered, and no damage, but no completion.
Yep. Well, like I said, that's a good time to, again, call that play.
Oh, exactly.
Spread things out a little. Now you can maybe pound it right at him, and it might be another time to come back with a little extracurricular.
Brett Babcock was breaking to the right on a fake there. There may be something to that down the road.
2 tight end set, pitch to Slee going right. Slee has running room, runs over a tackler, picks up about 5 on the play. A Tiger first down to the 34-yard line.
Oh, yeah, that's just hard-nosed smash face blocking and hitting there. Fullback Tate Slee. If he gets a start, Spike, he'd be a loaded tackle.
Oh, yes. Getting stronger as the season goes by. That time off that right side behind Hesterman and Bodenbender and the pulling guard, Carpenter. All right, now the Tigers split Bodenbender out wide to this side. They've got Moeller tight end on the other side. Double wing set, Slee lone setback. No motion, straight drop. In trouble. Babcock gets out of it. No, now he's covered by about 4 more. Whoa, boy, a big defensive play.
Yeah.
So that'll put the Tigers back about a dozen.
Spike, they swarmed all over that. I don't know if they were smelling past, but boy, they come boiling through there and around there, and nothing to do. I'm glad he hung on the ball. So they live to go again.
Well, to Brian Babcock's credit, he got out of one tackle long enough to maybe get rid of the football, but then he had no chance as he was swarmed under.
Yeah, well, he didn't have time to see where to throw it, Spike.
Right.
So other than just throwing it out of bounds, he sort of hung on to it, and boy, here they come in a horde.
All right. Second down and 22 yards to go. Ball at the Panther 45.
Reverse.
There's a misdirection to Babcock. Has running room. A great defensive play. There was an opportunity, Jim, but the Panthers came up good on defense. A gain of 10 yards, so the Tigers back now to within a convertible third down and about 13 to go.
Yeah, Spike, that looked like if he'd have busted that outside a few more steps that he'd still be running. I mean, that's just how it looks from here, but, you know, he decided that cut it up or stay inside there. But it looked like a well-conceived reverse. I like the call.
Yeah, they had him off balance. All right, Tigers moving the football despite the bad break. They got Bodenbender over here wide. They're going to hit him on a... No, it's great. Babcock on a slant. Great catch inside the 20-yard line, and that's another Tiger first down.
All right, there's our passing quarterback. He's had a great year, Brian Babcock. He's able to pass it. He's able to run it. And then he go over there and play some hard-nosed defense. Well, that time he threw a strike to his cousin, Brett Babcock, right where it ought to be. And Brett Babcock advanced it to the point where it's going to move the sticks and set the Tigers up pretty.
All right, gain of, we'll call it 15 yards on the play. Ball at the 16 of Sandusky St. Mary's. We had Bodenbender that time on that slant outside, but it was Babcock slipping out of the backfield. Now is the give straight ahead to Slee, running room straight up the middle, takes his man head on, and finally brought down at the 5-yard line. That's a Tiger first down. 7:01 to go, second period. Tigers knocking on the door.
Oh, are they knocking on the door? You know, I'm finding more and more of these St. Mary's boys, when after they make a tackle on our fullback or whatever, they're kind of slow getting up. Spike.
Yes, and they're falling backwards. Tigers taking it right to him now. That time up the middle between Miller and Black. Boy, I tell you, Derek Miller isn't all that big, but I tell you, boy, he's got some guns on him. He's got some strength in them legs. All right, now the pitch deep to Slee. He cuts it up inside the 5, down to about the 2, a gain of 3. 6.5 minutes to go, second period. Tigers trail 9-0, but they're knocking on the door here. We'll call it second and goal.
Spike, I think they're doing more than knocking on a door. They're kicking it down.
Yes. Straight ahead.
Yep.
Steel-toed shoes to boot, Jimmy.
Offensive line is just plain saying we're going to the promised land.
Yes,
just
sir.
Get behind me and we're going.
All right, but now you got to finish it off. Second and goal at the 2. Smith, the wing to the right side. Babcock on the left, Slee on the right in the backfield. Babcock under center. Here's the give to Slee. Left side. He's in. He's in. It's a Tiger touchdown. It's a Tiger touchdown. Make no bones about it. They took it right up the gut. Play after play after play. They stuck it to the St. Mary's Panthers.
Well, that was a sweet drive, Spike. Keep in mind that started inside the Tiger 20-yard line, and by gosh, they just plain had blood in their eye and took her right to them, as you say, and got down there to the goal line. There was no holding that line out. Tate Sleek can smell that goal line. He was headed for the promised land.
Yeah, I like the way you say that. A little blood in their eye and a little spittle, a little drool come down around the corners of the mouths. All right, now we've got a Tiger timeout. They may talk about going for 2 here. I'm not sure if it's a big advantage to do so or not. I think the 1 point here might be more valuable. Keep that, get it inside that field goal.
Yeah, but it's something that warrants discussion, Spike.
Well, absolutely.
And, you can't take those timeouts with you, and if they want to talk about it, who knows?
All right, now one thing let's mention. The Tigers did just what they've done all year. They got behind by 2 scores, but they answered the bell on a long, sustained drive. Where did we start? Was that
the 19-yard line?
19-yard line, yep, 81 yards.
Yeah, well, and the key to that, as well as most drives, is there wasn't any mistakes.
Yep.
I mean, per se, you know,
right,
no penalties. It's going to kill it outright, or no, obvious snap.
Well, and it all started, you're right, and it all started the same old garbage that Brian Babcock still thinks he's a running back.
Oh, yeah. Well, we know he is. He's proved it the whole season. In fact, St. Mary's made a good defensive play more than one that series. Remember, they tackled Babcock for, about 11, 12-yard loss there, but the Tigers overcame all that.
Yep, they did, most certainly. Now the Tigers going to go for 2. They run their own version of the spread offense. Babcock in motion, Slee offset to the right. They shift down, give straight ahead to Slee. And I believe he's going to be stopped short. They went with a straight-ahead halfback dive out of that spread formation to the right. Didn't quite cross the goal line. So the score stands now. 5:56 to go, second period. It's the Sandusky St. Mary Panthers 9, Liberty Center 6.
Yeah, Spike, talking about that conversion attempt there by the Tigers. You remember the St. Mary down linemen all shifted to the left. In other words, they were kind of moving to the left when the guys were ready to block. In retrospect, I'd like to see the quarterback, continue with a cadence before the snap to let them get their targets. In other words, I think they were moving and they couldn't hardly make a crack for him.
I think the fact that they were adjusting to the left side like that, to our spread formation side, is fine. And the idea is to get them shifting that way, cut back across the grain. That time they just happened to run into somebody. See, the whole thing out there is a giant chess match.
Yeah.
You decide you're going to do one thing. They're going to try to counter with something else. And it's a lot of times it's who guesses right more often.
Yep. Well, it's an excellent football game here, Spike.
Oh, boy.
Fans are being treated to a good one with just under 6 minutes to go in the first half.
Hill Greitman, part of this kickoff team here. End over end kick taken down there at the 10-yard line, waiting for the screen to set up. And a big hit out there by Hesterman, and that's where he's going to be stopped. Boy, Hesterman stood him up, and the Tigers flocked to him like birdseed time.
He banged on him hard there. Yeah, that was a kind of a sneak up behind the interference to see, is somebody going to block for me?
Yeah, they waited for that seam, and the seam was never forthcoming.
But it did give them some field position there. That's a pretty good start here. Now Tiger defense needs to dig right in and take it away. For as much as St. Mary's likes to pass, they haven't been lighting it up to speak of, Spike.
Well, enough to keep everybody off balance. Now is to give to the second back through. Great open field hit.
Tyler Carpenter.
Yep, Tyler, a great job there, knifing through, grabbing, holding him up, waiting for help to get there, which it soon did by the swarming Tiger roughneck defense.
Yep.
Gain of a lousy yard on the play, second down, and a short 8 yards to go.
Jason Moeller quick to his friends' help there and sealed the deal.
Yep. Denim foot in there, number 70, along with his tough guy buddy, Jordan Espinoza. Man in the middle was Perchlik from his linebacker spot. Now they kick it outside, running room again. Oh my, there again, the speed of the quarterback, and it's going to be a Panther touchdown.
I saw Kyle Hesterman took an inside route there, and both the quarterback that scored and a blocker was to the outside. And I'm thinking, Kyle, you got clear to the out of bounds. You got that whole side of the field. But anyway, that quarterback, if he gets a little piece of grass, Spike, he knows what to do with it.
Well, and he's going to run to where he sees daylight as the play develops. He's going to, as he takes off like that, he is going to play off of what the defensive end or maybe
gives him,
the outside linebacker gives him. So, simple matter of reacting to what he sees, the defense reacting to what they see. This time it came up sevens for, that one missed. Well, now we're back to that 9-point edge, 15-6. 4:59 left here in the second half, or first half, second quarter. All right, St. Mary's fakes that onside kick.
Well,
Tigers, of course, again waiting for that.
Kind of a jump up there to it. What happens if they bump the ball?
Well, it's got to go 10 yards or else, they'll run it again. Anyway, here we go. Now a little pooch kick. That's going to be taken there by Moeller at the 23-yard line. Moeller straight ahead. He knows how to handle the football all the way up to the 45-yard line.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd want to make that mistake again.
Yeah, Jason Moeller says, I'll advance it, and with his excellent hands that he demonstrates from his tight end position, cradle that ball and advances it to give the Tigers their best start on a drive, Spike.
All right, now, Tigers trailing by 9. Obviously, a rather important time of the game. They've got plenty of time, 4:53 to work with, ball at the their own 45. But it would be good to get lit back up on the scoreboard again and tighten this thing up again. They come out with a double wing set. Bodenbender to the far side, gives straight ahead to Slee. Slee pounding his way ahead and good for about 8 yards inside Panther territory, down around the 48. Jim,
what?
I don't think they have an answer if we can keep them playing honest, having to cover the outsides. We can continue to pound the ball up the middle. I don't think they're going to have an answer for it.
Well, I agree, and the pregame talk, coaches are quoted this way and quoted that way. Rex wanted to kind of keep the ball on long drives.
All right, here's Bodenbender spread wide this way. Babcock in motion the other way. Give to Slee. Slee bounding, passing, driving, gouging his way up the middle again.
First down yardage, Spike.
Yep, gain of, we'll call it 4. That'll put the ball at the 44 of the Panthers.
Yeah, thinking about keeping the ball and sustaining a drive, time of possession keeps the other people away from it.
Yep.
As well as getting something out of it after you drive the ball.
Well, actually, their offense hasn't been able to do a whole lot. They've got 2 big plays,
Yep.
one for 90 and one for about 60.
That's exactly the case.
All right, Smith now takes the handoff, tries to get outside, heading for the sideline. He's got positive yardage inside the 40-yard line.
Yep.
We'll call it a gain of 5 for Paul Smith.
Casey Bodenbender out here doing all he can to make a block. Tigers will take a 5-yard gain on first down anytime, Spike.
Oh, yeah. 3:45 to go here, second period. 15-6. Panthers. Tigers show Casey Bodenbender spread wide to the far side. Double wing set, Slee the lone setback. Now Paul Smith goes in motion, gives straight ahead to Slee. Slee hit at the 38-yard line. They're not going to give the Tigers a very healthy benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, no running room there. Sandusky had that pretty well stonewalled right from the get-go. Spike, how about a quick pitch to Slee or Brett Babcock?
Oh yeah. Make sure we pump somebody up the middle first and then go with something wide. All right, we'll see what rolls here. Third down and about 3 to go. Smith in motion this way. Here's the give to Slee, powering ahead, driving inside the 35 to the 33, and we're going to call that more than enough for a Tiger first down.
All right,
ball actually spotted about the 34. And now all of a sudden when you start putting the angles together, it's a lot closer than I first thought.
Yeah.
Timeout by the officials for a measurement.
I think the chain gang's got to start earning their pay. You said they were professionals as of tonight, right?
Paid professionals tonight.
All right.
Well, we'll see now. Mike Mann, the man on the donut at the 40-yard line, has it set.
All right, we were close on the last measurement, but a little short. So this has got to be our turn,
We've got a man named Miller on the front side of the marker, the mystery man on the back side. We'll see if that makes a difference as we send in the first team.
CZ.
Yes, it is! Yes, it is! Andy Miller teams up with the captain of this squad for 39 years, Mike Mann, and the Tigers etch out enough, we'll call it, for the first down.
Yeah, well, those guys that are a little bit green running those yard markers, they just got to pay attention to that retired highway patrolman.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that guy knows how to make it happen.
All right. Tigers have it kicked into gear now. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line of the Panthers. 2:48 clock running. Wing set to the right, man in motion, Smith this way. Here's again, give to Slee, the workaholic fullback down to the 30 and a gain of 4 on the play. Buddy, that's smash mouth football, Jimmy.
Yes, sir. Yep, took on those tacklers after his blockers got him about so much and goes ahead and moves the pile another 2 yards.
Babcock gets the instructions from the sideline. They come to the line of scrimmage. Bobby Black, the center. Babcock under center. Smith, wing left. Babcock offset to the right, takes the handoff, gets inside the 30-yard line, and powers his pumping legs ahead, gets down to about the 27. Between the 27 and 28, gain of 3 on the play.
Yep, Derek Miller and Carpenter out there trying to throw a block. Did throw a block. I mean, actually enabled him to get a little more stepping in there.
All right, while we've seen before the Tigers haven't been able to get a lot of those 3rd and 1s, they do have the advantage of 3rd and less than 5. We'll call this one 3rd and 3.5. Ball at the 27.5-yard line. Wing set to the short side of the field with Paul Smith. Double tight end set, Slee behind the quarterback. Here's the fake. Babcock looks for running room, cuts it back up inside, and no gain on the play. It'll bring up 4th down for Liberty with 1:15 and the clock running.
Yep, that was a good alert play there. Actually, 2 of those Panthers sort of had a beat on him, stayed alert. And Babcock wanted to get outside, but it just wasn't there, Spike.
Well, that time it's that chess match we were talking about, Jim. Well-conceived play. They had it set up from the 2 prior plays.
Yeah, exactly.
They had everything going to the short side to the left that time. Babcock carried out the fake well, bootlegged it around, but right there, the defensive end and the linebacker stayed home. So that'll bring up 4th down, and we'll call it 4 yards to go. 1:13, a Tiger timeout. Big play coming up here for the fortunes of Liberty Center. Okay, to recap the situation, Liberty Center, 4th and 5, 1:13 to go. Ball resting on the Panther 28-yard line, 15-6 Sandusky. Man in motion, Smith. Here is the handoff to Babcock. Gets inside the 25, down to the 24. Very, very close. This will be crucial, the measurement. Boy, that's the way football used to be played, Jimmy.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. You didn't have to pass the ball like they do now on 4th and 5. Boy, you got to give Liberty credit. A good call there, and we're going to come out for a very, very, very crucial measurement. Timeout on the field with 1:07 to go in the first half.
Yeah, this is excellent war we're having out here.
All right, the donut set. Here is the measurement. Very, very, very close. It's a first down! It's a first down! Those paid professional hooligans come through in the clutch again!
Spike! That's 2 in a row, my good friend.
Yes!
All right, 1:07 ticks.
Here we go. A very crucial set of downs now for the Tigers. They're 24 yards away, excuse me. Man in motion, Smith. Here's the reverse to Babcock, looking for room, cuts it back up inside, and weaves his way down inside the 15-yard line.
I'm not sure he hung on the ball right there at the end. I don't know. They're trying to sort it out like they're. Oh, wait. Somehow that ball came loose there, Spike. I don't know. I don't know how it happened.
Well, gain of about 9 on the play. They said there was a fumble. We never did see it up here. So with 52 seconds left, the Tigers will have to hold here, 15-6 Panthers.
Yeah, well, whatever happened, happened. It's like their ball, and Tigers got to just suck it up and stonewall anything that these Panthers might want to get going and go in and sort things out a little bit, Spike. A lot of football to play yet.
All right, we've got a Sandusky timeout.
All right, Spike. Tigers on defense.
Who says the Tigers can't come up with a fumble play here? Out of shotgun. They comes right back with that same long touchdown play. Brett Babcock with the angle shoves him out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
Boy, that quarterback's able to just kind of delay and then pick his seams, and he's got deceptive speed, Spike.
Yep, they get people leaning one way. They come back with a little kind of a crossbreed off a counter play.
Yeah, but he sort of hesitates, you know.
Oh, yeah.
He just sort of, I'm in control here, and after a while he'll take off, and boy, he's gained a lot of yards for him.
All right, 3 wide receivers. They go right over the middle, hit by Babcock right away, but a first down. Now they're going to rule incomplete. Brett Babcock stepped the headgear in.
Okay, they're going to bring the ball back.
Incomplete.
The one ref indicated it was a catch. No way that was a catch.
Yeah, catching them. Maybe it could have been a fumble. But Tigers haven't got any breaks on those particular calls. But the one good thing about it, Brett Babcock with the big stick.
Oh, boy.
Knocks the ball loose. 39 seconds. Clock stops. Second down and 10. Ball at their own 39-yard line. Tiger fans come alive. Now Carpenter drops back. Tigers show a 4-3-4. Now the quarterback again. They need to tear him about 3 sections apart. And Derek Hefflinger comes across, hauls him down around the 50-yard line. Uh-oh, we got a Tiger hurt. Looks like Weaker's number
54. 64.
64, Hesterman.
No, that's Hesterman out there.
Quigley, an up-and-coming star for the Tigers. All right, 1st and 10. Ball inside Tiger territory at the 48. Quarterback in trouble. Sagarino!
Who got him?
Muller, number 82. Hefflinger in on the help. And the big sack there. That will stop the clock with a Panther timeout. 18 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Spike, that's a kind of a smart quarterback as well as very talented. We see the yards he's racked up and the things he's been able to do via those big plays. They had him hemmed there, and he was looking for a way to get down. I mean, he knew he was a set and duck after he was stopped there. And, you try to live to play another down. You do.
Okay, 2nd down, 16. Ball at the Panthers' 47-yard line. Out of shotgun, rolling left. Has time, stops, throws. That's tip. Oh my, great job there. I believe Perchlick may have been the one that got through.
Yep, number 78 made a very good rush and got his paw up there, and that ball fluttered in the air there. Boy, that'd have been sweet to get a Tiger pick.
Oh, no Tiger was in the area. Clock stopped now. 3rd down, same 16 to go. 9 seconds left.
Now, darn near their only good play is the quarterback faking around with it and then running it, Spike.
Yep. Now, Mike Huffman, number 57, into the game for his speed up on the defensive line.
Man, hey, well, how about too much time? What are we doing out here?
Good call, Jim. I don't know.
They're just hanging around. Oh, where's the stall in the game?
Yeah, that was just like giving them a timeout.
For gosh sakes.
You're right. I see.
All right. Put time on the clock, Landis Burmeister tells us.
All right. Now the quarterback on that little keeper going through. Hefflinger slows him down, breaks through that, still on his feet. Finally hauled down from behind, I believe, Perchlick. Denham Foot, number 70, was able to get back and make the play where they almost broke it. 3 seconds now remaining.
Yep.
And this high-powered Sandusky St. Mary offense still grinding.
There's been countless Tigers, even on that play, had a shot at him, Spike, but the guy is slippery.
Yeah. All right. After the measurement, enough for a first down. Academic first down with only 3 seconds left, or 4th down, no matter. Out of shotgun. St. Mary's quarterback drops. Pressure from Hefflinger. They've got him. Now he has to scramble. Finally lost it up there. And that's going to be picked off by Babcock. Hauled down immediately at the 20-yard line. And we'll head into the second half. The Tigers were thwarted on their drive down the field. And then the Tigers had to hang on for dear life here. The score at the end of the first half, the Tigers will go to the locker room to regroup. That score, Sandusky, St. Mary's 15, Liberty Center 6.
I don't think anybody else needs to worry about that.
All right. Get a few stats here as we go. Total offense that first half. Sandusky, 15 rushes for 229 yards. The quarterback, 10 of those 15 carries for 219 yards. 2 carries, 90 and 65 yards, so 155 yards on 2 plays. What essentially the difference in this game. Liberty Center, 9 first downs to 5 for St. Mary's. Altogether, St. Mary's 2 of 8 passing, Liberty 1 of 4. St. Mary's averaging 10.5 yards per play. Liberty Center averaging 4 yards a play. All right, kickoff now. Tigers will have it. Brett Babcock grabs on the 5-yard line, ran straight ahead, has a seam, battles, stays on his feet. Oh no, wait, still loose. Oh my. Oh my.
Wow. That was a terrific run back, Spike. He got a lot coming up there, and he's going to set him up with real good field position, and almost just a little out of control right there at the end.
Well, it don't make any difference. We just got to make the plays in the second half.
Tiger defense has got to rise to the occasion right now.
Time of possession in the first half was essentially Liberty Center 16 minutes and the Panthers 8. So the old time of possession story isn't all sometimes what it's cracked up for. All right. Now the Tigers come down. I'll have to dig a little deeper. A little delayed draw up the middle. Nothing doing. Tiger defense swarms to the ball carrier. No gain on the play.
Yeah, Denham Foote getting up off the bottom of that pile. Hesterman in there too. It's good to see Kyle Hesterman back just for the half there. He had to, kind of be helped off the field, but looks like they're at full strength again, Spike.
Yep, they had an air cast on him there coming off the field, but some quick doctoring work, and he's ready to go. Now they line up trip receivers to the far side. Wide receiver here in motion toward the line. Now lines up as a tight end on that side. Single setback, quarterback out of shotgun. He keeps it, comes off that right side, breaks through again, finally hauled down from behind with an assist from Bodenbender, tackle by
Carpenter.
Yep, Carpenter, number 50. But the gain all the way down to the 36-yard line, and that's a first down for St. Mary's.
Wow, now he had over 200 yards by himself in the first half.
Well, but Jim, doggone it, only 155 yards, 165 yards on two plays.
Yeah.
All right, Tigers are playing good enough. It just bad breaks so far. They just got to, now they've got to come up with some big stuff. Wide formation the other way. Now they give to the fullback off that side. Inside the 35, down to the 34, and a gain of about 3 on the play. Uh-oh.
Derek
Hefflinger
looked like he might have a stinger on his shoulder or something there, Spike.
Up-and-coming star for Liberty Center has to take a seat for a
play or two here. Yeah, he's filled in quite nicely there tonight.
All right. St. Mary's shows the wide formation to the far side. Give to that. No, now the quarterback fakes it, runs off the left side, has running room inside the 25, and that'll be enough for St. Mary's first down. Well, I knew I'd have to say it sooner or later, Jim, but I might just as well speak my piece. I don't have much use for parochial schools in a public school system playoff. It just, when you've got a huge city like Sandusky, and you've got Sandusky Perkins, the big Division III high school, and then you have a parochial school, that just doesn't bode well.
Well, indeed. Sometimes they can almost, if you will, go out and recruit and get what they need to fill out a team on occasion.
Yeah, and stay a Division VI. It's time the Catholic schools, parochial schools, if you will, have their own separate division. Nevertheless, Tigers do a good job of swarming to the ball there. Gain of 2 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and 8, but the ball is on the Tiger 21-yard line. 9:49 to go here in the 3rd period. Tigers already facing a 9-point deficit, and you certainly can't afford the Tigers. Tigers certainly can't afford to give up another touchdown here. All right, they show that same trip receiver set to the wide side, to the short side of the field, and the quarterback that time bit off a little more than he can chew and slammed down a 4-yard loss, spearheaded by Tyler Carpenter.
Yeah, Carpenter in there, Jordan Espinoza in there. Paul Smith got up there in a hurry. Plenty of Tigers there to finish that off.
Oh, Jimmy, there's plenty of time here in this second half to make the big rally. The Tigers start it right there, and that—also a big play from the standpoint now, shoving St. Mary's back farther away from the goal post and a possible field goal.
I think the Tigers are overdue for a takeaway, Spike.
Oh, baby, you know it. All right. Wide outs to either side, lone setback, play action, in trouble, has to loft it out there, caught and dropped, incomplete. That time the Tiger pressure again coming from Hesterman and Moeller, the defensive ends, forced that quick pass, and that was incomplete. Now the Tigers force a 4th down.
Yep, looks like they're going to try to tee it up for a 3-pointer again, Spike.
Well, at this point, a field goal, for the most part, academic. That would only increase a 9-point lead to 12. Tigers still would be only 2 scores down. The kick, and that's going to sail far short. No good.
All right. Well,
the problem isn't with their 15 points. Liberty just needs to get the offense cranked up. I got no problem in the world with them having 15 at this point in the game. But Liberty Center has been through this before. They've been through the halftime adjustment period. Now they'll come out with their turn at the football.
Right. They need to execute like we've seen them do and like they can do. You know, not just make mistakes. Just take control of the ball and stuff it down their throat. Plenty of time to do that.
All right. Same setback. Slee deep coming there. Breaks a tackle at the 20. Spins, but hit and brought down after a yard gain. In that first half, Brett Babcock had 8 carries for 41 yards, averaging 5. Tate Slee averaged 4 yards a carry, 17 carries for 69 yards. 1 pass caught for 20 yards to Brett Babcock. So the whole story of this game, the 2 big plays for 90 and 65 yards by the quarterback.
Well, a couple of penalties and misconceptions.
Yeah. All right, now the Tigers play action. They've got Bodenbender out there. Can't hang on. Defender all over him. Casey had to try to pick that ball out of the air with a lot of hands flailing around.
Yep,
pass.
He got one paw on it, which is to say it was close, but not quite a cigar.
Yep. Tigers had chances in that first half, but this time Lady Luck not working for them. Tigers have to find a way to turn that around. Now the situation, 3rd down. We'll call it 8 yards to go. Ball at the 22. 7:47, clock stopped here, 3rd quarter. Goes to the line of scrimmage under Bobby Black, the center. Slee behind the quarterback, and Babcock set off to the right. Here's play action again. He's got a wide open Smith, can't get to him because of the pass rush. Now has to throw to Slee. That's caught at the 25, but that's not going to be enough. Well, that time the great pass rush forced Babcock to scramble.
Yeah, he rolled to his right, and Smith over here on the far sideline was open, but Babcock not able to look back and gunner to him.
Now, you've got to give some credit to the St. Mary Panther team, albeit a collection of athletes, not necessarily homegrown, but good athletes in that time forced the pass scramble. Now Black back in punt formation. Lofts it up in the air. High spiraling kick. Hits at the 45. Takes a Tiger bounce. Continues to move downfield. And levels off finally at the 37-yard line.
All right. Tiger defense needs a takeaway here, Spike.
Yep, 38 yards and no return for Bobby Black. Another good punt. But the Tiger defense now will be asked to put on another final stop. We've got to get the ball back for the Tiger offense to generate some scoring here. And of course, one thing, St. Mary's yet to really turn the ball. They had the one interception right at the end of the half on a long gamble pass play.
Yeah, right. Other than that, boy, they just haven't had any errors to hurt them.
Yep. All right, now the flip out there to the 40-yard line, caught and hauled down by Brett Babcock at the 43-yard line. Big gain of about 7, which will set the Panthers up on a second and short yardage.
You know, I don't get the big discussion all the time out there.
I don't know.
I mean, it just takes a lot of time. What are we doing?
All right, 3 wide receivers to the far side. Same formation with the lone setback. Tigers show blitz. They run right past him, but Perchlik right there to grab a hold. He's not going to let go of the ball carrier. Finally slammed down, no gain on the play. A great job by Perchlik. He held his ground in the middle. Carpenter blitzed off the right side, ran right into Perchlik, and that was end of story.
Exactly. Weakers come over to help polish him off. Brett Babcock up there too, but give that one to Perchlik. Got a hold of him. Wasn't going to let him go, Spike.
Well, pretty little generosity on the spot there. No matter, Tigers just have to put up a stop sign here. 3rd down and about a short 2 to go. Ball just short of their own 45-yard line. Trip receivers left. They're going to run the option. The quarterback comes back. He's going to be stopped short. The Tiger defense all over that. Perchlik.
Weakers.
Yeah, Weakers. Foot, denim foot in there. Tigers eat that thing alive. That'll bring up 4th down. No gain on the play.
Yep, a whole host of Tigers said, I don't think so. Not this time, number 4. And indeed, they put up that stop sign you wanted, Spike.
All right.
They're going to go for it.
They're going to look at it. They may try to draw the Tigers off. 4th and a long yard to go. Under center for the first time tonight, I believe. Long count. They try to draw now. They use a timeout. Tigers hold their ground. Okay, after the timeout, now they come to the line of scrimmage. They show punt formation. Back deep, Smith and Babcock, 2 dangerous return men. This may be what the Tigers need to get a spark. But they're going to spiral it for the sideline, and that's going to go out of bounds down. Shows around the 10-yard line. By the time they get that spotted, it should be somewhere up around at least the 20.
I don't know about that, Spike.
Well, they're going slow. He still hasn't. Yep, now they got her spotted. 16-yard line approximately.
Okay.
Tiger fans not pleased with the spot, but hey, I really don't care, Jim. 16 or 20.
Yep.
You know,
Tiger defense did what they had to do there, and he got a punt off with a little wind aid. The flag's carrying a little bit, so he got a nice punt angled out of bounds. But the Tigers have got a whole football field here to drive it, and it's exactly what they need to do.
All right. That time the Tigers. All right, play action. Babcock drops straight back, has a lot of time, throws deep for Bodenbender. Caught at the 38, cuts it to midfield, behind a great block by Moeller. There's Brett Bodenbender at the 40, at the 30, hanging on and tackle finally down at the 20-yard line. A huge play for the Tiger offense.
Yep, there's that play we've been looking for a long time. A big play to really ignite this Tiger offense. That exactly happened. Jason Moeller out there threw a nice block as Casey was cutting across the field to get some more running room, and a good block it was, and Jason was careful with it, but we see a flag.
62 yards on the pass completion.
Gonna wipe it off.
We're gonna bring a big chunk of that back. Wow, Tell me, that was how did Moeller possibly could have he had got the penalty on that block? That's incredibly terrible.
No, on that block, or on that, Jay must have been in a different block. Jason Moeller's block was a good sound block, and it was further up the
well, see, they've got the mark off after it, see?
Okay.
So that could have been Moeller's block. That's terrible. The intent of that rule to begin with was to keep from people getting killed in the middle of the back.
For getting hurt.
All right, regardless, Tigers have a first down at the 35-yard line. It doesn't matter, we'll just work a little bit harder. All right, they show formation left, Babcock straight drop, has time, throws deep for Smith. Knocked away at the last second at the 40-yard line.
Oh, nice pass by Babcock. He rocketed that thing out there and looked like that should have been. Paul Smith actually was a little deeper than the coverage.
Yeah, he was there. He had it in stride, but a great defensive play.
Yeah.
Second down, 10 yards to go.
The head coach for these Panthers felt that he might have had an advantage on overall team speed.
Oh, crap on his advantage. I'm sick of listening to that loud mouth. All right, 4:04 to go, third period. Tigers with the wing set to the left. Give to Slee on a
Paul Smith on a reverse.
Paul Smith on a reverse, but boy, they stayed home. Give them credit, good defensive play. You know, some games, it doesn't matter. Sandusky St. Mary's right now certainly equal to the Tigers in ability, but not a bit better. The breaks of the game right now are not going Liberty Center's way.
I know.
Some things you make, some things you don't. It's just like the pass completion, like a turnover, like another bad penalty earlier. It's just one of those games up to this point. Tigers, though, third down and 10, still very much alive. Ball at their own 35-yard line. Clock running, 3:18 to go. They come to the line of scrimmage. Tiger fans behind them all the way.
There's a flag.
Yeah, too much time coming from that referee in that position. Well, Jimmy, you brought it up before, how it seems like they get away with using all kinds of time. There may be reasons, but that time Liberty gets pinched, and that might have been a costly penalty.
Well,
that forces things at 3rd and 15.
That's going to be tough maybe on this series, but there's a lot of time left.
All right, Tigers with a standard wing right set, excuse me. Play action, Babcock under pressure, finally gets rid of it.
And they're going to call him for intentional grounding there, Spike. Yeah, he had to get rid of it because he was going to take a sack way back there, but boy, he threw her out of bounds over there, and we didn't have a receiver in the vicinity, so that's what they had to call.
Well, and you know, they may have been setting up the screen pass off of that, but Babcock, and you do let people through on that play. That time didn't even have that opportunity.
Yeah.
So it's essentially the same thing as being sacked, and so now the Tigers, instead of having the ball at the St. Mary's 20-yard line after this series of plays here, they're all the way back to their 15-yard line, and Bobby Black will be forced to punt.
Yeah.
St. Mary's has two return people setting up just inside the 50-yard line. Black gets it high. Turning over, takes a great Tiger bounce from the 40 across midfield and all the way down to the 45-yard line. Another tremendous punt by Bobby Black.
Yeah, that's why when they needed one, Spike, you got to give the defense a little help there and keep them off the goal line.
Yep.
Keep them out of the red zone for a while.
We'll give Bobby Black 45 yards. That may be enough to slow down St. Mary's and get the ball back here while there's still enough time left.
Spike, I declare this worm has got to turn where everything's going St. Mary's way here. We could use a turnover.
Now, I see 62 back in the game after sustaining a first half injury, offensive lineman. All right, out of shotgun, trip receivers. They run that option to the left. Looks for running room. Tigers make the play, slowed down by Smith flashing through and then peeled down up near the 50-yard line. Didn't get the tackler. So a gain of 4, second down, and a short 6 to go. All right, same trip receivers. They haven't really utilized that formation. Now the quick drop, they set up the screen, caught out there, skips a tackle, and I believe he's gone. Wow.
Paul Smith came up there to make a stick. Has a well-timed, well-executed screen pass over there on the left side, Spike, and Paul Smith missed him. Plenty of interference over there, and Sandusky St. Mary's lights it up.
All right, the set. Kick up.
That one's
St.
good.
Mary's finally converts. That makes the score 22-6. Tigers trail by 16. 2:11 to go in the third quarter. Okay, set to go now from the far hash. Tigers down but not out. Kick bounding around and finally falling on down there around
Jason
the
Moeller.
30-yard line.
Yeah, I think Jason Moeller, 82, finally lassoed that ball to keep any harm from being done. Not bad starting field position here. This Tiger offense has just got to move it. Still the third quarter, Spike, so there's plenty of time. I mean, these fortunes can turn around, but boy, any time would be soon enough for us.
All right, down but not out. The Tigers come to the line of scrimmage. They come out with that standard wing left set. Here is the give to Slee. Slee pops it outside up to the 35-yard line and finally pulled down there. A gain of about 4 on the play. Well, you've got enough time. You have to still run your standard type offense. You can't yet panic and try to do too much with too little.
Yeah, it's indeed, Spike. They just need to put a drive together here and get something good out of it.
All right. Now Ryan McClure, the wing back on the far side, comes in motion this way. Here's the give to Slee. Slee has running room, piles and pounds up across the 40 to the 44. That's a first down. The Tigers have done that pretty much consistently the whole game, but a few bad breaks has taken things away, and the Tigers now have got to climb up out of that hole and get back into this somehow. First down, Jordan Espinoza comes out for a quick break. Foot in there at tackle on that right side. McClure, the wingback on that side, comes in motion this way. Here is the give to Slee. Slee twisting up across the 45 and up to about the 47. Call it a gain of 3. Well, Jim, the Tigers, you know it's there. It's they haven't had luck on the big plays. They've busted a few.
Yeah.
It's a lot tighter game than a 22-6 score indicates.
Yeah. I know, but somehow or other, we've got to put points up there.
All right. Now the wing set to the left. Babcock, the running back on the right. Slee behind the quarterback. Gives straight ahead to Slee. Slee running room straight ahead. Up all the way across the 50, down to the 45, into the 43-yard line.
Now
a gain of about 8.
Yep, that's taking yards in pretty good chunks, so got to get closer to that goal line.
33 seconds, clock stopped while we set the chains. Now back in motion. Tigers with time for a couple plays here in the third period yet. They trail 22-6 here in the first round of the playoffs. Sandusky St. Mary's their opponents. Here is in motion on the keeper. Babcock battling, driving, breaks a tackle over the top of the tackler inside the 35 to the 33. And that should be enough for another Tiger first down.
Yep, they're relentlessly in pursuit of the St. Mary goal line, Spike.
Yep, they're marched once again into their territory, and now we're going to have an officials timeout.
Oh, they got to have a little conference there. Oh, they're going to measure it.
All right, once again, the chain gang coming out. Now the twisteroo. Miller on the backside and CZ up front.
Yeah, it's good.
And good for the first down by the length of the football. At first it appeared the Tigers had it easily made, but the measurement proved to be a lot closer than we at first thought. But the Tigers convert. They'll have that first down at the 34-yard line of the Panthers. All right. Now they wait till they get the donut set, everything ready to go. McClure in motion. Gives straight ahead to Slee. Slee bounces off a tackle, breaks to the open at the 20, at the 10, at the 5. It's a Tiger touchdown! It's a Tiger touchdown! Tate Slee busted it up the middle, broke off a tackle, and he scores from 24 yards away. Liberty on the board.
Oh, Spike, that's sweet. As the third quarter ends, the Tigers draw within 10 points, and they're lining up for a kick. Number 15 on Sandusky St. Mary's missed him a couple times or couldn't hold him. I guess he tried to tackle him, but Tate Slee too strong, too powerful. Bulls his way into open running, and then off he goes.
Well, the Tigers have consistently taken it to him right up the inside the tackles. Now the Tigers come out, and of course it looks like they've got to go for two. The third quarter has run out with the Tigers on the board, 22-12. A very important two-point conversion attempt here. Bowdenbender spread wide to the right. Slee lone setback. Smith in motion, rolling to the right. They throw the long fade route. It's up, it's tipped around, and it's incomplete. That time the defense was there enough to get a hand on that fade route. And the score stands now 22-12. Tigers trail by 10. Jim, that means that maybe it'll take a field goal somewhere along the line.
Oh, it just means they're 2 scores down, Spike.
Yep.
There's plenty of time for that if the defense can hold and then get their hands on it. I think this offense is, I don't want to say embarrassed, but I mean, they're used to putting points up during the whole year. So they just want some more action. Defense has got to get them the ball back.
Well, as I said before, I don't think St. Mary's is going to have an answer for our offense. It's simply a matter that we have to contain. 12 minutes to go here from Tiger Stadium, week number 11, first round of the playoffs, 22-12 St. Mary's. All right, thanks once again. We're going to get our sponsors in here. As we've said all year, many thanks to these people or our broadcast would not be possible. Quickly, we've got Dave's Auto Service with Dave Perry, the Tiger Shop with Bob and Julie Shaddy, the Holgate Metal Fab with Jeff and Todd Spangler, KK Collision with Kyle Kern, the Henry County Bank with Bill Wendt, Swanton Welding with Ryan and Norm Zeiter, the Dugout, Stephen Catherine Parasini, Hill Asphalt Paving with Randy and Patty Hill, Trucker's Paradise with Lynn and Jerry Ripke, and of course Jerry supplying those wonderful homemade pies tonight. The Sky Bank and Liberty Center, Pisanello's Pizza with Craig and Sherry Myers, and the Speece Trailer Court with Rick Speece. Now, end over end, that's going to hit inside the 20-yard line and finally go out of bounds at about inside the 15-yard line. We'll wait for the spot of the football. All right, we've got B.A. Miller and Sons Trucking with Norma Miller, L.R. Babcock Plumbing and Heating with Bill Tiplady, Dan and Francis Brown, Davis Farm Services in Delden Liberty Center, Liberty Center Consulting Group with Mark and Jody Bly, Schaefer Truck and RV Sales and Rentals, Miller Brothers Trucking in Napoleon with Skip Miller, Eon Industries with Judy Leininger and Dawn Bender, Mitchell Farm Equipment, Tom, Pat, Barb, and Mike Mitchell, Meyer Badenhop Insurance Agency, Glenn in the Napoleon office, Bob and Marge in Liberty Center, Ken and Robin Carpenter, the Liberty Carryout, Timbo and Water Hauling Service, the Athletic Booster Club, All right, now, first possession, fourth quarter, give off the left side. Paul Smith has to make a solo tackle up across the 40. Gain of 7 on the play for the Panthers. All right, and of course, John Slagle in the memory of good old Donnie Sharp for those stinking rotten no good yellow flags, and our new sponsor, Megan Irving with Wells Bowen Realtors in Napoleon, 1006 Dodge Street. Megan assisting and buying sellers of property. All right, second down and 3. Tigers fans here trying to urge the Tiger defense on. Under center, the give. Straight ahead, not the Dawn! Not the Dawn! No gain on the play!
Jordan Espinoza.
All right, the man in the middle comes through. Now they're going to give him a good spot, a gain of a yard. That's going to bring up third down and a little more than a yard to go. And now we're going to have an official's timeout. Boy, I tell you what, the Panthers milking this clock for all it's worth.
Well, I know, they always seem to get timeout when they need it and not charge for it. It's happened 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, this one's a little shady now. There's something about an equipment thing. So we're going to wait and see. Maybe we're going to get a full timeout now. We'll wait to see if there's a signal.
I think a timeout was finally charged to him, Spike, but wow.
Yep, there it is. Landis was on the call there. So with 10:58 to go, 22-12, Tigers down by 10. It's St. Mary's timeout. For the timeout. The team's back out onto the field. Quigley, number 88, in there at a defensive end alongside Jordan Espinoza. Out of shotgun. The quarterback and Ewan now, number 8. Carpenter shows blitz. A delayed handoff. A lot of running room, and they're going to come up with a first down. Oh, my. Tigers almost had too much defense there, and somehow they found a seam, broke up to the 50-yard line, inside the 50 for the 1st and 10.
Yep. Paul Smith making a saving tackle there.
All right. Because of the number 4 having an equipment problem, had to leave the game for one play, the quarterback stepped in, number 8, and converted the first down. All right, ball at the Tiger 47, 10:39. Here is the give. No, the keeper by the quarterback breaks a tackle. Yep, there was a hold there. Babcock finally makes the hit at the 20-yard line. They thought there should have been a holding call up around the 35. That went undetected. And now the Tigers with their backs against the wall.
Yeah, well, we got to see firsthand, right under our nose, the shiftiness of that number 4.
Yeah.
A gifted athlete, Spike.
Yeah,
he just seems to have gears whenever he wants it, just like a speed bike, you know. He can just reach down there and make a little adjustment and slide right by us.
Yeah, he's been able to consistently break tackles. Certainly one of the better running quarterbacks that the Liberty Center Tigers have seen in recent history. All right, they come with that same set. They give to that running back. He plows his way ahead for maybe 2 on the play. 10 minutes left in the contest. Tigers desperately need to make a stop. Somebody has to come up with that big turnover play.
Yep, Spike, that's exactly right. The way the Tigers' offense has been misfiring here, they do not want Sandusky St. Mary's to put another score on the board.
All right, Hesterman, number 64, back out onto the field as the defensive end. They show 3 trip receivers to this side, but they really haven't used that offense very much, setting up the receivers. They go with the single setback. They run, they want the option, they kick it back, open field there, gets by that. Heading for the sidelines. Brian Babcock finally hauls him down around the 12-yard line, and they're going to rule he stayed in bounds. That certainly doesn't help Liberty Center.
Yep. Tyler Carpenter knifed in there and almost had him, almost. All right, D-boy.
All right, 9:06. Clock running. 3rd down and about 2 yards to go.
Deep in the red zone are these Sandusky Panthers. Tigers need to strip that ball, Spike.
Jimmy, you never know. All right, here they go. Receiver set to the far side. Tigers show blitz. High snap taken there. No, quarterback keeps it. and he gets down inside the 10-yard line to about the 7. That's going to move the chains. It'll be 1st and goal for St. Mary's.
I believe Brett Babcock had to put the stop on him, but again, they moved the sticks.
Well, the chains go down. All that's left is the down box. The Tiger defense with 8.5 minutes left needs that big, big play. Here is the give straight ahead. Nothing doing with the give to the fullback.
Moeller.
And Tate Slee, number 25, all in there to horse collar him. A loss on the play of a couple. Back to the 9.5-yard line. 2nd and goal from there. More importantly, though, the clock running, 8:05. A field goal here, Jim, wouldn't be the end of the world, but the Tigers hope to not even give up that.
Yeah, well, Tigers just have to get their hands on the football as quickly as possible, and then when they do, they've got to turn it into points, but they did the last time they had it.
All right, out of shotgun. Here is that give. He fakes it now, runs off that side. Tigers pile drive him all over the place. And a short gain, maybe 2, back to the original line of scrimmage. That'll make it 3rd and goal from the 7.
Kyle Hesterman, Tate Slee, Dennefoot, a bunch of workhorses, Spike. I mean, they just rise to the occasion. They were jumping at that guy trying to make part of the play. Well, I think that number 4 is going to know he's been in a football game. But, you know, it's been a long time, Spike. I can't remember a single player doing as much damage to a Tiger team as this number 4 for the Panthers.
All right. 3rd and goal from the 8. Well, remains to be seen what happens here. Now they learn a little play action. They throw. It's caught at the 5 and tackled short of the goal line by Brett Babcock. That'll bring up 4th and goal at about the 2.
Tigers been putting on a whale of a goal line stand here, Spike.
Yeah. Now,
can they come up one more time?
Essentially, we're going to be looking at I'm not sure they haven't tipped their hand yet. I believe they're going to go for it from 4th and goal and a long yard to go.
Come on.
6:25 left in the ball game.
Tigers.
Here's the quarterback sneak. They stand him up. They bend him backwards. Not enough. Oh, no.
He's in.
Don't fault the Tiger effort on that play. They stood him up and bent him over, but not before his forward progress maybe broke the plane. From here, of course, we can't tell.
Right, he didn't get in by much, but the official standing over there to the far goal line, he had his hands up, so that's what counts, and 6 more points go on the board for Sandusky St. Mary's.
Well, they were playing field position. If they don't score, the Tigers had 99 yards to march. That makes the score 28-12. And a 16-point lead here for St. Mary's. And obviously the point after touchdown is crucial. Yeah, that's good. 29-12, a 17-point margin. And that unfortunately pushes the Tigers into a very difficult situation. They trail by 2 touchdowns, 2 conversions, plus that 1 single solitary extra point. 6:20 to go here in the 4th quarter. 29-12 St. Mary's. All right, they come to the line of scrimmage and again just showcase.
They want to scare
that
they don't,
ball. Yeah, they don't need it at this point. They've just got time, the clock to protect is it. Tigers have to do something and in a hurry. Expect something short. Yeah, low line drive. Caught there at the 30-yard line.
Tate Slee.
Yeah, great grab by Slee. Twisting and driving his way forward up near the 45-yard line. Well, Jimmy, 6:15 to go. I think your only choice now is to fill the air with footballs. Fill them fast and fill them deep.
Yeah. Yep, we're going to try out, air it out pretty good here right now. Boy, there's just so many things. You can look back in the game and see that, boy, that should have went for the Tigers, or, wow, why'd we get a penalty there?
Yeah, a bad block. Who knows?
Man.
Yep, one of those things. Well, the Tigers have got to do something in a hurry now. McClure in motion.
Babcock
rolls to the other side and taken down there at the 45. Gain of a couple. 2nd down and 8 coming up.
This Sandusky St. Mary's team does move well. You know, when they discover which way the ball's going, boy, there's a lot of people kind of sliding there in a hurry.
Okay. 5:56 after the injury timeout. Paul Smith in motion. Takes the handoff. Inside reverse to Babcock. Babcock all the way down to the 45-yard line. Enough for a 1st down. Sandusky simply content to make sure of the tackle, not to let that thing get broken wide open. Good hit by the quarterback, but a 1st down for Liberty Center. That'll stop the clock momentarily at 5:47. The Tigers come to the line of scrimmage. They set up Smith to the wing right. Slee behind the quarterback, Smith in motion. Now they're going to give it to Smith. Smith looks for a cut. He finds room, and he'll get the ball down inside the 40-yard line.
Good gain, almost 9 yards.
Tigers moving the football, but they've got to do it quick. They need 3 scores here, and obviously we're going to see onside kicks coming if the Tigers can convert this drive. 2nd down, 4 yards to go after the 6-yard gain by Smith. Black over the center. Brian Babcock there. Uh-oh, fumble. Uh-oh. You know, last week we had a backup center in there when Black was hurt. We saw the exchange fumbled, and I thought maybe that was only the 1st or 2nd time we'd seen it all year. And now with the fumble here, I think maybe that might be the very first time the starting quarterback center combination let one get away.
Yep.
All right.
Well, it's the first one I can remember.
Yeah. See, this game is just one of those that happens to not be working out quite like we had hoped. All right, give to the fullback. Great open field tackle by a knifing Tyler Carpenter at the 40-yard line. No gain on the play. Maybe a loss of a half a yard. Wait for the spot. No gain, so it'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 40-yard line. Well, I think the Tigers now with 4:40 clock running, they have to look at getting a hand on the football first and making the tackle second. So they've got to make something happen here on defense.
Yep, that football's got to bounce to the Tigers' way and darn quick, or it's going to be not good.
Tigers show blitz. Carpenter there looking for a seam. They give to the fullback coming this way. He waits and tries to find a hole. Nothing doing there. That thing closed up quickly by Jordan Espinoza. Now the Tigers trying to preserve some time. Use a timeout at the 4:07 mark here in the 4th period. Tigers trail 29-12 here in the 4th period. After the Tiger timeout, 3rd down, 5 yards to go from the 45-yard line. They fake that, they throw it out there, and that pass incomplete. A little risky offense there by St. Mary's with that 17-point lead. Now it'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah.
Good Tiger coverage on the pass.
Yeah, the quarterback, Brian Babcock, delivered a whale of a hit over there. Felt a little better doing that. You know, you just want to hit somebody, Spike.
Yeah.
It's not quite going right. You just want to find another color uniform and nail them.
A little extra generously. All right, now St. Mary's back in punt formation. They have yet to show that they want to punt deep. They may angle again toward the sideline. That one, though, kind of shanked, and that's going to be fielded there on a bounce by Babcock. Babcock looks for the end. Nothing doing there. They've got him hemmed in, and he'll go down at the 22-yard line. It just never, there's just another case, Jim, where it's not been Liberty Center's night. Nothing opened up on a cutback, and they had it hemmed in from the outside.
Yeah.
Nowhere to go for Babcock.
Yeah, this Sandusky St. Mary team, to their credit, don't seem to make many mistakes. I mean, they've always got people where they need to have them to stop something really big from happening.
Yep. A good athletic team. All right, now the Tigers come out. They show Bodenbender wide to the far side. Slee the lone setback. Babcock back to throw. He throws deep for Bodenbender. He goes up. Pass picked off in a tight battle for the ball. The return at the midfield stripe. Stays on his feet and rambles his way down to the 25-yard line. A battle for the ball downfield. It was two men.
Yeah.
That time, the wrong guy came down with it. Nothing Casey could do, just one of those things. Tigers had to gamble.
Well, this St. Mary team just about has an answer for whatever the Tigers were trying to do tonight, Spike.
Yeah.
Man.
You know, and I wouldn't mind taking them on again next week just to see what would happen. I don't think they're any better than Liberty Center. I think tonight, you know, the follow the ball, the direction of the drool just wasn't right for Liberty Center.
The statistic guys are going to just about burn out a calculator adding everything up for that quarterback on the carry. You had him for 211 yards in the first half, and, man, I believe he's got another 100 the second half.
Okay, Tigers moving some different players in and out of there. We've got
88 Quigley's in there.
Yeah, Quigley's in there. Josh Kuzer, defensive end on the far side, number 85. 3:05 to go, clock running, second down and 7 for the Panthers. Give up the middle, and Tigers close on that, but the Panthers with good push, they drive the ball inside the 20.
I believe Espinoza getting up there. Man, he's done a yeoman's job here tonight. Also, Denham Foot, number 70.
Yep.
Couple of strong men been working hard for the Tigers. 85 coming out, Josh Kuzer. Also, Paul Smith.
So 3rd and 1 for Sandusky here, 2:22, clock running. Jim, it's been a good year for Liberty Center. They had to fight back from trailing several times in the second half. They had a great game against Wauseon as well as Delta. They put exclamation points on those. A solid win over Archibald. They had momentum heading into the postseason. But tonight, it's just like that old movie with John Wayne and let me see. Who was the other guy? And Liberty, the man who shot Liberty Valance.
Yeah.
You know, the song, Jimmy Stewart was the other guy, you know.
Yeah.
And then the drunk, the guy with a good gunner, you know. The old story about the song, when two men go out to fight, only one returns. Unfortunately, tonight, the Tigers with great playoff tradition, 23-9 altogether, 23-8 under Rex Lindgren. This time, it just didn't work that way. Clock running, and I think with the first down, St. Mary's is going to just down the ball as they run the clock out.
Yeah, Spike, it's a sad thing for these seniors to hang up their cleats for the last time here as Tigers, but boy, they left it on the field, not only tonight, but as you say, through the course of the season. It just didn't bounce their way tonight, but boy, they gave the old Tiger faithful a lot of thrills and chills over this 2005 season.
Yeah, coming off there was Casey Bodenbender. And
Foot coming off
Brian
there
Babcock,
now.
Denham Foot, number 70 comes off. Number 63, Derek Miller, also comes off for the last time. Tiger fans up, you gotta like that spirit.
Oh yeah. Well, they'll be back. They'll want to get it going all over again next summer, and the boys will hoist that iron and get ready to don the proud uniform of these Liberty Center Tigers and try it all over again, Spike.
Yeah, you know, Jim, and we've had a great senior class. These guys, a bunch of, they were leaders. They hung together. A great, I mean, what can you say at a time like this? Everybody's down.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not any one great thing you can say that can lift everybody's spirits. But, hey, you just don't win them all, and that's the pride of the game now. You shake hands like gentlemen, congratulate the other team. It was a good game. Tigers had their chances. Sometimes it just didn't work. But, and they fought through a lot of injuries just to get to this point of the season.
They did, Spike. When Patrick Henry outgunned us there, the Tigers could have packed it in then. But they didn't. They bounced back and finished the season quite strong and built every game on every game and really look forward to this postseason. But, boy, these boys from Sandusky St. Mary's seem to have a game plan that worked and stood up.
It did tonight. Now, there won't be another night, not this year, but maybe another time. Liberty Center, like after the fourth game of the year, came back, knocked off a very strong Wauseon team, and everything fell into place. However, Ryan McClure missed the whole regular season up until some cameo appearances against Archibald. And Brett Babcock missed about half the year with injuries, and you had a bunch of other assorted injuries. Tate Slee missed a game and a half. And you had a lot more. I mean, this was a beat-up Tiger team, but they somehow put it together again for the playoffs.
Yeah.
But this time, like I say, when two men go out to fight, only one returns, as the song says in that Liberty Valance movie. And, of course, that doesn't mean anything. I'm searching for something to say here that will appease the Tigers' hurt right now.
Yeah.
But,
well, I'll tell you, Spike, from what we've witnessed here tonight, I think it can be said that this Sandusky St. Mary's will be a pretty good representative to Division VI playoffs as they continue. I don't know who they're lining up against or what, but everything I read or heard on discussed before the game was that this was a good team. Yeah, I mean, they had 4 losses, but they were to three of them were to teams that were already headed to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that tells you they were playing some pretty tough people, and by golly, we've got to tip our cap to them on this night, on this November night.
I'll only tip my cap, but just ever so slightly, maybe that 1/10 of an inch after all, as I said here. Perhaps sour grapes, but it's a parochial school. And, well, let's leave it at that. I believe that what will happen here, this will set up a return match. First game of the season, it was a 31-28 loss by Sandusky St. Mary. They'll go up against, and wouldn't you know it, another parochial school, Norwalk St. Paul.
Okay, then they can kind of bang on each other.
Yeah, let's let them knock each other around. Tigers, like we said, now their record ends up at 9-2 on the year. And Jim, hey, let's look at reality. 9-2. Last year, let me see, what did we finish? 10, 11-2. Year after year after year. The 2 years we don't make the playoffs, we're 7-3 and we're 6-4.
Yeah.
And then you've got that long playoff string before that.
Yeah.
Year after year, the Tigers consistently are there. A play away perhaps at times, but there year after year after year.
Yeah, it's a credit to the parents and the fans and just the school in general, Spike, that they take a lot of pride when a Tiger athletic team takes the court or takes the field. They aim to give a good representation of their school, and they fight hard.
Yep.
Don't always have the most talent, but boy, when it comes to heart, they never come up short, and they made a good team. I mean, they got started, and they say, well, what about this guy, or what about this guy, and hey, they worked together, and the seniors led like seniors should, and they got through some tough times. I mean, they could have had a pretty mediocre season if it wouldn't have been for reaching down and looking within and coming up and making the hard-nosed plays when they had to. And it led to this. I believe this is our 12th appearance in the playoffs.
I believe.
I think.
Believe. All right. Well, I don't think we can say much more. I'm proud of this team. I hurt inside because I know they wanted to go a lot farther. This is their team. They wanted more, but, well, let's shut her down now. We'll pay tribute with silence now to the team as they raise their helmets high. Jim, we'll see you next year. Landis, thanks a lot.